Okay, Eve, it's nice to see you again. Now, we had some homework we were doing over the last week. Can you remind me what you were doing?
Well, you asked me to sort of just monitor when I took my medication and when I didn't.
Mm-hmm. And we had a look at your diary, and roughly how many did you take? You were meant to take over the week 7 tablets, 1 each day. How many did you manage to take?
Well, I didn't really do the homework. Well, I did, but I'll be honest, I didn't really put the honest information in.
Okay. Because you've written down here that you actually took them all.
I know, and I feel a bit guilty, but
Okay.
that I did that. But I just feel a bit anxious now, and I don't want to lie to you, really.
Well, I think all we want to know in terms of medicine is what's the truth of it. Because if we know the truth, then we can come to a joint understanding about whether this is a good medicine, whether you think it works for you. So I'm not bothered that you've tried to show me a good score.
I know, but I can't sit here and give you that honestly, because I just would feel really bad that I've not been truthful, really.
So have you taken 1 or 2, or have you not taken any at all?
Well, I've taken some. I think, you know, towards the beginning of the week. I mean, I have every intention of taking them.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really know why. I don't really know what goes wrong, to be honest.
Well, I think it is a normal thing for anyone who's on a course of tablets to not take them all. So
Really?
I think that's really very, very common. Certainly when I had the antibiotics, I never finished the course. So us doctors are hopeless at taking the tablets sometimes. So I think that's just kind of normal.
I thought you'd be really cross. I feel a bit of an idiot, to be honest, really embarrassed, especially because I've sort of put that I've taken it down and I didn't.
Well, you were wanting to show me that you were really trying. I suspect that's why you put it
Yeah,
down.
absolutely, because I don't want you to think that I'm not bothered about this.
So what we might want to try and achieve as a target for this session is to increase the number of tablets taken over the week from 1 or 2 up to 3 or 4. I mean, would that be something we could work towards, do you think?
I want to. No, I would like to take them all. Like I said, I start out by, you know, each day I think, right, I'm going to make sure I take all my medication, and so I just end up not doing.
And what's going through your mind just now when you're thinking about not taking the medicine?
Well, I'm trying to figure out why, because, like I said, I have intentions to, but I think sometimes there's a part of me that it's easier when the voices are really troubling me. It's easier to take it, but I have periods sometimes when it doesn't, you know, when it feels a bit better, and then I almost think, well, what's the point? And I don't want to have to take this forever.
Okay, so there's ideas about when I'm really distressed, that's when I take it. But otherwise I would kind of rather not take it all the time, and I definitely don't want to take it lifelong. These are the thoughts that go through your mind.
Yeah, and it's not like I set out to, you know, to think, oh, I'm not going to take them at the moment. I kind of want to, but then I just forget, if that makes sense.
Okay, or it's not important enough for you to complete the action.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be in, like, I'll go to bed and I think, oh God, I didn't take my medication, and then I think, oh, it's downstairs, and I'll just think, oh, you know, I really resent having to take it. You know, I hate having to take medication.
I mean, I suppose the other side of that is, at some point in their life, everybody is on a course of medication.
I've been on this for so long, and there's a part of me that I don't want to have to be taking medication.
Well, what the NICE guideline says about these medicines is if you can get better by taking them really regularly, and if you can stay well for a couple of years, you can start to come off. But if you take the medicine hit and miss all the time, then the medicine never really gets a chance to work properly, and so you maybe never get as good a recovery as you might get.
It's funny because as you say, you know, if I take it, then I could come off at some point.
Hmm.
That makes me feel so much better, and I can almost see, if I could see a day where I wouldn't have to take it anymore, I think my motivation to do it right now would go up. And sometimes I wonder whether I forget, not intentionally, but because I'm actually stressed about taking it.
Mm-hmm.
So I just forget to, because I don't want to have to think about it.
So you're distressed about the thought of having to be on medicine.
Yeah.
And what I'm hearing you say is that's mostly about being stuck on it forever, and you're angry about that. So we were speaking before about rational responses, and a rational response, which you gave us a minute ago, Eve, was there will come a day
Yeah, but will
when
there?
I probably can start to reduce. Because that gave you a lovely feeling that...
Yeah, but I don't quite believe that.
Okay. I mean, that is what the big, nice panel said. We don't want people to be on medicine forever.
But can you promise me that one day there will be a time when I don't have to take this anymore?
I can't promise that. What we need to do is to see the benefits. Now, you've told me when you do take a tablet and the voices are bad, they do seem to work. And they seem to work quite quickly. Now, that might put you in the good prognosis group. For people that have really disabling voices, 1 in 4 has a really good result to medicines.
Well, to be honest, I don't really know if it does work that well or not. I've never really... I just see the point of taking them when things feel bad, because, you know, you said that it would make it better, so I do take it then, but I don't really know whether they help or not.
Would that be something you would like to find out? Whether they actually
Yeah.
deliver a real result for you?
Well, it would be useful to know whether there is any point in taking them, or whether this, you know, I'm not really sure that this medication that I'm on at the moment is that great.
Okay, how could we find out if it worked?
Well, I don't really know whether the voice is... I mean, like I said, I have periods where they're not so bad, but I don't know whether that's just happening by chance or whether that is the medication.
One way of finding out would be to either have a week with no medicine at all, and we'll score the voices out of 10, or we have a week with a tablet every day, and we'll score the voices out of 10, and we'll see how these weeks compare.
Yeah, I would do that.
That would be scientific, wouldn't it?
At least
'Cause
I'd know.
Then you'd know, because nobody wants to take a tablet that you don't really know whether it works or not.
Well, exactly, and also, you know, if I knew that there would be a day, like I said, where I wouldn't have to take these anymore, then I'd feel more motivated to take it.
So on one side of the scales towards taking the medicine seems to be the fact that it does produce some benefit on the voices when you do have one. Is there anything else in favour of taking it? Do they give you a sleep when you take one? Because it's a nighttime tablet.
Well, again, I don't really know, to be honest. I don't know if I've taken it regularly enough to really
Okay.
know that.
But getting a sleep would be nice, wouldn't it?
That would be much better if I could just sleep
Yeah.
more regularly. But I don't want to feel so tired in the mornings, because for quite a while, you know, getting up is a real effort.
So this is looking at the other side of the scales, the other side of the equation, as to whether you take a tablet or not. On the one hand, is it working? Is it controlling voices? Is it reducing stress? On the other side, what's the side effects like? What's the downside?
One of the things that I really get, I don't know if anybody else gets this, is because the tablets I take, they're like sort of in this plastic coated
Yeah.
thing.
Uh-huh.
And I just feel it gets really stuck in my throat, and it's
Okay.
a burning sensation.
Oh, yeah.
So sometimes, especially at night, I don't want to take it, because if it gets stuck in it feels as though it's stuck in my throat. And that burning sensation, it keeps me awake, or I wake up throughout the night. It's really unpleasant. Is that
Well,
something you've heard of before?
I've heard of that. Some people do have that effect.
Why does that happen?
And it's just the form of the medicine. Some people, the capsule breaks down quite quickly and it causes reflux.
Right.
Now, what you can do to get over that is to give it in a different form, in a tablet form,
Could
or
I
in a
have
liquid.
it in that tablet form then?
We can change the form. Absolutely.
And then the only thing is I genuinely just forget sometimes. You know, it's quite a hassle.
Yeah.
You've got to remember to have water or have them with you. And I'm not always at my house. I sometimes go to my parents or I'm in different places.
Travelling about, yeah.
And it's just really hard to remember because they come in these big packs and you can't just carry them around.
Well, one thing is a pill box, isn't it? Where you have one of these little plastic slips and you put the pill in for each day. And maybe you then have the pill box beside something you do every day. Presumably you'll do your teeth at the end of the day, will you? Brush your teeth? Maybe the pill box could sit beside the toothpaste and then you would see it and you'd remember, I've got to take that pill and take the pill at that point. So that's something. Also, are there any kind of rules in your family about tablets? Some families hate pills and tablets. Other families really like them.
Well, in my family, nobody's ever really agreed with taking medication.
I see.
You know, people don't even really take headache tablets. So
So that makes it difficult for you if you're travelling about your relatives.
and I don't really want them to see me taking tablets. So there's the thing about people say, oh, you know, what are you having to take that for? And also, you know, some of them don't believe in drugs. They're quite into alternative medicine, and they'll say things like, oh, well, if you did this, that and the other, you could get off that. And
Yeah,
I just feel a bit of a...
That's tricky, isn't it?
Well, it makes me feel a bit of a failure as well, to be honest.
Yeah, I can see that if that's the family rule. And do we know where that family rule came from? Was it something that happened, or...?
Well, they're just all really into sort of healthy lifestyle and alternative medicine, you know, just being healthy. And I feel as though with them saying, oh, you know, if you did this, that and the other and you took this out of your life and you lived like this, you wouldn't be needing to be on all that medication, as though it's my fault.
Well, they do have a bit of a point. Healthy lifestyle's a good thing, isn't it? But in terms of voices, there's almost no evidence for herbal remedies producing benefit. So I think they might have that bit of the equation wrong. Another way you could have your medicine is via injection, so you wouldn't have to carry tablets. I mean, would you like to have an injection once a month?
I'm not really someone who likes injections, to be honest.
Okay.
But, well, would it have any different side effects to taking the tablet?
Well, we can give the same medicine as injection, or we could give a different type of injection. If you told me which side effect you didn't want, then I could probably find the right injection for you.
It's not really appealing, to be honest.
Okay. No, it's just something that's possible. Okay, our target was to try and get up to 3 to 4 tablets in the next week and just do a totally honest record. Do you think we're going to manage it?
Well, I am willing to try.
So, can you kind of summarise for me the kind of key things you're going to try in the next week?
Well, one of the things was really keeping the diary and seeing if the medication actually does do anything. I would find that really useful. You said you'd give me a tablet form, which would be a lot easier, so I'm not getting that feeling of it being stuck in my throat. What was the other thing we said?
Well, the pill box we can do you right now.
Yeah, that would be good.
And the other thing we had was a rational response. You're going to say to yourself, there may come a time when I don't need this tablet any longer.
Yeah, if I just knew how long I had to take it for before I could start to come off, that would feel...
Well, they've said if you're well for 2 years, you can start reducing.
Right. It seems like such a long time, but it's better than thinking about being on them forever.
So this week, are you going to try and take one every night then? and we'll see how we do with it.
Yeah.
Is there anything I've said you didn't understand or was upsetting or anything like that?
No, not really.
Well, let's see how we get on.
Thank you.
Okay.